Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about, have you guys ever been in a blessing and a curse at the same time? If you haven't, or if you have, let me explain to you. So I moved to Atlanta in, I want to say 2019, right around March in 2020. That's when the rumors of, there's going to be a lockdown and all that kind of stuff. But little we find out later that Atlanta wasn't really finna shut down for real. I think they had like a curfew for like maybe 2 weeks. But what they did do was, make sure all the kids were homeschooled and stuff like that. They gave all the kids tablets from the school, iPads, etc. Um, so like I said, I was fresh in town, and it was me and my kids, me and my 3 kids at the time. Well, let me tell you, I finally got my apartment. It was a nice whole little setup. I had a 3-bedroom apartment. It was so big, so nice. It was perfect. The school bus came right in that area to pick up the kids. But when I got approved, right? When I got approved, everything was online. You couldn't apply for the apartment online. Did I even view? I don't even remember if I viewed the apartment for real like that, but I just remember talking to a lady over the phone, signing documents over the phone. Everything was getting squared over the phone. So it was just like she had to make sure all her I's were dotted, T's were crossed. Same thing with me. Boom, I get approved, time to move in. We were there for about a month. Let me see. And then comes around the time it was my daughter's birthday. I moved in March. Her birthday was, or is, April 25th. I don't know why I was acting like I was about to forget. But yeah, her birthday, April 25th. April 24th comes. I'm getting ready to have a little shindig for my baby girl. And one of my friends come over with her kid, and I decide that I'm gonna cook. I had all her gifts hidden in the trunk of my car, which was a blessing. Let's just say that. So, before I even get into that, let me tell you, when I moved in, I received an email asking me if there was anything that was faulty with the apartment, if anything needed to be fixed. It was just, at first it was just like minor stuff like, oh, can you fix something in the tub, blah, blah, blah. Until one day I came across something on the stove. I realized some of the lights wasn't working. The fans weren't working. And like the stove or the oven, it would click. It would make like this weird sound, right? So boom, let's fast forward back to what I was talking about. So I invite my friends over. She brought her son over. So I already had like my 3. She had her son. My daughter, she doesn't really care as long as there's kids around. She was the youngest out of everybody, so she wasn't really tripping if it was just all boys. But like I said, I'm new to the city. I didn't really have a lot of friends like that. So for somebody to come and pull up, sing happy birthday, it was cool. So I'm getting ready to make some food, and everything was smooth, right? Everything was cool, but all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. As I'm getting ready to move my pot off of the stove, you wanna know what that was? That was a big flame. When I tell you, fire went up, all the way up. It went towards, I just remember it going up towards the ceiling. And I remember my kids were like, I remember them running back. And I don't know, I don't think I still have any scars like that anymore, but I have a little bit on my arm. Matter of fact, I'll just post pictures. And then I think I even have pictures of what happened, like the effects from the fire, what my apartment looked like. So there's this fire, and then I don't know what happened. Like everything just went really, really fast. Flame blew up. I felt all the heat rush in my face. I had like, I remember like little splatters of, I don't know, just something on my shirt, and the kids running. I remember they ran behind my couch. My friend, she just started grabbing the kids. And as I'm running out of the kitchen, she already grabbed all the kids and we ran to the patio. The door was too far away. Sprinklers are going off. None of us had our phones. We're on the patio. I'm like, I'm breathing hard. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I didn't know what to do. So I'm thinking like, me and my friend and the kids, I hear my oldest son, like, he's like, my chest hurts, my chest hurts. I'm like, okay, he's having a panic attack, but I'm telling him like, relax, it's okay, we're good, we're gonna be okay. Then like my daughter, she's like in the corner, she's like, I'm trying to keep her calm. And then I hear my other son and he's like, Mom, we gotta call 911. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to like pat for my phone. I don't have my phone. My friend don't have her phone. I was playing music off my phone onto my speaker and my phone was left on the counter. My middle child was like, Mom, I'll go in there and go get the phone. I said, no, don't go in there. Because last time that I remember seeing was like all the fire went like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was crazy. Have you ever seen that movie Backdraft where the flame just rushes up real fast? It was like that. So I'm like, no, you cannot go in there. You're not going in there. This boy runs out there anyway, grabs the phone and comes back. He was like, I did it, Mom, I did it. I can't say that on YouTube. But he got my phone. I called 911. And of course, you see all these people, like the neighbors, you see all these people grabbing their phones, just recording us stuck on the balcony. I can hear the sprinklers going off. I can hear the alarm. Obviously the alarm is going off and I'm at the top floor. Ambulance comes, they break down the door. I don't know what they did because we couldn't see, but they break down the door and they come and get us off the patio. I'm pretty sure they put the fire out and all that stuff. So we get downstairs, and while we're walking through the apartment, our feet is covered in water. Mind you, we live at the top floor. I'm at the top floor. So there's nobody above us. So that means everybody below me is getting flooded too. So we're walking out the house or out the apartment, and the police and the fire truck, they put my kids, they wrap my kids up in towels and they put them in the back of the police truck, and they start handing them each like teddy bears. And all of a sudden my daughter just starts bawling. I guess everything just hit her all at once. She felt safe and she just started crying, and I'm trying to keep her calm, and I couldn't do everything at once because my anxiety was through the roof. I had one of the cops come up to me and say, you know what? I'll make sure the kids are okay. They don't seem to have gotten burned or anything, but it looks like you did. And they started pointing to areas like, look, I see spots here. And then there was like this big ass spot on my arm. I had spots on my neck, which I think they're pretty much healed up by now. And she was like, you're really lucky that you didn't get burned on your face. I'm like, man, I didn't even know I got burned. She was like, yeah, that was your adrenaline rushing. Like, I'm pretty sure by tomorrow you're probably gonna feel it. So she was like, let me take you to the paramedic. Let's go by the ambulance. Let's go by the ambulance and get you checked out. So they come, or not they come. I go over there and they're looking and they see that I've gotten burned a couple times and things like that. The fire department comes up to me while I'm over there and they're asking me what happened. I let them know, like, yeah, I don't know, something happened with the stove, then something just blew. The thing just blew up in my face. They're like, okay, so we need to make a report and all this other kind of stuff. Mind you, Leasing office, nowhere in sight. Those leasing agents, nowhere in sight. I do not give a damn if it was COVID or not, and you're supposed to have 6 feet space and all this other type of stuff. If you know one of your tenants just had a fire, and I know you've seen this big ass fire truck come through and the ambulance and all that kind of stuff, and you don't check up on your tenants, that seems crazy. So I get on the phone with my mom. I turn into that little girl all over again. As soon as I get on the phone with my mom, I start crying. It was like I cried for my mom. I was this little girl I felt like I turned into my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was, but I think everything just came rushing down at once. And my friend was like, no, 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 Taylor, don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay. We're good. You're good. You're good. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just moved into this apartment, and my daughter's birthday would be the following day. What was I going to do? I literally moved out here and started from scratch. I came out here with one suitcase, and everything that I have now has been rebought. I built myself back up from all over again. So this was just like, this was so traumatic. So traumatic. So once the ambulance cleared the place, I go back, me and my friend, we go back into my apartment. And mind you, I called another friend to come get my kids. Had them come get the kids so that I can figure out what my next step was going to be. So she came by, picked up the kids, and make sure that they were good. I had to go back inside the apartment and see what damage has been done. They were able to get the water out of the apartment. I don't know how fast. I don't remember how fast, but they were able to get the water out the apartment. And I remember them saying, one of the fire departments, he was looking at my stove and was like, he said something about the top of it. He was like, was this always like this? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. I just moved in. He's like, that's interesting. And then he didn't say anything else after that. So during all this time, everything's wet. My couch is soaked. My TV won't turn back on. There's PlayStations done for, furniture done for. It just went to, I call the leasing office. The main reason I called them was because when the fire department came through, they kicked my door down. So now I wasn't able to lock the door. So let me tell you how this call went. I'm on the phone. Hello? She's like,
Yeah.
that's how she answered. I'm like, yeah, I'm the girl that just had the fire. She says,
Yeah, so what?
and when she did that, I was already like heartbroken. Usually my mouth would have flipped, but this time, like, something in me kind of just like, my feelings was crushed when she did that, because it was like, damn, you really don't have a heart. You don't give a damn. So she was like,
Yeah, so what?
I'm like, well, I need somebody to come fix the door. They kicked my door down.
Well, why would they do something like that?
I'm like, well, we were trapped.
Why were you trapped?
I couldn't get out. There was a fire.
Well, it was that bad?
I'm like, yes. She's like,
Man, I'll have somebody come down and fix it right now.
and then she hangs up in my face. Nasty. And no, this was, I don't want to race bait or anything like that, but me being new to the South, I automatically went to thinking, is it because I'm black? Because it was a white lady that I was talking to in the leasing office. And she was just like, she was just so rude and so nasty and so Well, let me tell you, they didn't come fix that door right away. It took them like about a week and a half for them to come. So I couldn't even stay in the house because one, they had people, they had to bring like these big old fans. Fires are the same, they fix the light. There is where he said they should have taken out the fires. And a whole bunch of these big fans to air out the room. They had to air all that stuff out to make sure nothing got molded or anything like that. 2, they didn't move me to another apartment. 3, the people below me that flooded, luckily I had wood floors. The people below me did not. So they had carpet and their carpet molded. They didn't do nothing for them either. They would not move them to a different apartment or anything. So one day the leasing office calls me and was like,
So we need to figure this out because you're gonna have to pay at least the damage is about $10,000.
I said, excuse me? She was like,
Well, you got the rentals insurance, right?
crickets, rentals insurance? She was like, yeah.
Yeah, the only way that you can move in here is through rentals insurance.
I said, well, the leasing agent never gave me the rental insurance paperwork. She was like,
Oh, well, that's not our problem, that's yours. So you're gonna have to end up paying.
I wanted to be like, bitch, who is you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, where's your empathy? Is this how you treat people? You act like you own these apartments, and even if you did, this is what you say to somebody with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I damn near just lost everything. So, mind you, I'm still not at my apartment. I'm staying at my friend's house. The same friend that came to pick up the kids. She allowed us to stay. Blessing. She allowed us to stay with her until they got those fans and stuff situated. Meanwhile, while I'm over there, her and her friend were there and they were like, Taylor, we think you got a lawsuit because there's no way that stove should have did that. And then the way that they're treating you, and they never gave you a what's that, the rentals insurance or anything like that. Like those issues are not your fault. And guess what? I put in a maintenance request via email. I even have all of that. A maintenance request via email for that stove. I talked to a lawyer. Well, I contacted a lawyer and the lawyer contacted me right back. And it was tough because when it was COVID, courts were not open. Judges were, I guess this was like something minor. Nobody died. I had a few burns on my body. The kids were traumatized. So it was kind of, and it wasn't like, to them, it wasn't like this major concern. So the best thing he told me to do, he said, Taylor, just don't pay rent. Just don't pay rent. And it's COVID. You really don't have to pay rent anyway. So I think that's probably your best bet. Blessing, right? Mind you, I was only there a month. I was only there a month. These people harassed me. They would come bang on my door almost every day to see if I was still living there, whatever the case may be. They even try to walk in my door, but because I had a lock on the inside as well, they couldn't get in. It was, now that I think about that, like even all that was just illegal. I was just going through so much. The kids having to stay home from school and all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you something. During that time, the fire messed up their computers for them to go to school. So I remember they were probably out of school for about 3-4 days, right? And I remember the school contacting me like, "Hey Taylor, we noticed your kids haven't been in school. You haven't called them out." My mind was just elsewhere. I forgot to contact the school. I let the school know what happened. Why did I get a call from my oldest son's teacher? It was a guy. And he was like, "Your child is one of the best students in the classroom, and we hate to see all this is happening. Don't worry about the laptop, and we'll figure everything out for you guys. We hope everything is okay." I'm like, "Okay, thank you. I really do appreciate it." One day I get an email from, I want to say, I think it was my daughter's teacher. And she said, it was something to the extent of like, "Hey, we talked to the PTA about you guys, and we would really love to come through and send you over some stuff." During this time, I'm like, "Oh my God, like this is crazy." And it was just weird because I'm not, I don't know if that's pride. Like I don't like handouts like that. Like that bothers me. But at that time, I was really in need. You know what I'm saying? And the way that the apartment was treating me, I didn't have a lot of friends out here. I didn't have an advocate for me like that. Another thing, you know what they did with the burnt walls and all that kind of stuff? They just painted over it. They didn't clean it. They just painted over it. So I read the email. They're saying that they want to come and send me some stuff. So I was just like, all right, that's cool. The day comes for them to come. I was not expecting this. I get a knock on my door. It was the principal, it was the vice principal, it was all of my kids' homeroom teachers, and a few of their classmates. So I think maybe like the vice principal's daughter or stuff, they all went to school with my kids. I opened the door, flooded with boxes. They gave us a whole bunch of stuff, clothes. They gave them a new console. They gave them a new PlayStation, shoes, whatever the case may be. Like this school looked out for my kids. But when they came in, they saw the burn, the bandages. Cause at that time, I still had like bandages and stuff on my body. Before they left, they gave me an envelope and they said, "Open this when we leave." When they left, I opened that envelope. They gave me $3,500 and gift cards to DoorDash, places to eat, Instacart, all types of stuff. And when the first time I ever heard my oldest son, talk spiritual, he said, "Mom, we're blessed." And I said, "Yes, son, we are." And I also said, "You see how it pays off to be a good person, a good student. Because if these were some badass kids, or if they didn't," I don't want to say that because you never know, but my kids made an impact on the teachers as well, for them to even want to come to me and help out. I was just greatly appreciative for that. But during that time, my kids still had trauma. I remember going into my son's room. The boys, they shared a room. My daughter had her own room. Going into the boys' room, and I'm getting ready to clean it up, and I see a bag of dirt underneath their bed. I'm like, "Son, what's this for?" He said, "If we ever have a fire, I read that dirt takes the fire out, so I just wanted to have a bag of dirt under the bed just in case." And my heart broke. But then I realized that he had PTSD. So I had to put them in therapy, which was okay. But the only thing was everything, like I said, was online. I had to do everything online, but it helps. So this is what I mean by like blessings and curses. To make a long story short, I ended up staying in that apartment the rest of the year rent free. Rent free. They tried to put it on my credit report, but I was able to fight it and get it off. Blessing. So yes, COVID didn't hit us like how it may have hit other people, but mine was different. It hit me in a way that, like a lot of people, they lost a lot, but mine was by a fire. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to discuss it. I just had a talk about that with a friend who didn't know that I was in a house fire before, and the things that I went through and the trials that I went through when I first moved out here from California to Atlanta. And yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Also a new travel agent. So if you are looking into booking a flight, not just a flight, but a package, get your room. You want to go to Bali, you want to go to Turks and Caicos, you want to go to Jamaica, you want to go up the street to New York, you want to go to California, Atlanta, whatever the case may be, come holler at your girl. I got you.